Happy Tuesday. Time for Tidbit Tuesdays. So, something I don't talk about very often is Medicare. So, as a health insurance broker, I'm qualified to sell Medicare, and I actually have someone dedicated in my office that does strictly Medicare because there's so much to Medicare, there's so much to the under 65 market that we both can't be good at both. And I want my clients to have the best experience possible. So if you're going to be 65 this year, or any year for that fact, 90 days before you turn 65, you need to sign up for Medicare. That's the first step. Then you need to contact me, and so we can get you an appointment with my partner so that he can evaluate your choices. And he does exactly the same thing I do for people who are non-Medicare age that are younger. Evaluate what doctors you use, what medications you take, what your future costs may look like. Because there's a lot of plans out there that maybe initially are very appealing to get, but in the long run, depending again on your health and certain other factors, may not make the most sense for you because the premiums really jack up year after year. So sometimes it makes sense to do traditional Medicare with a supplement and then get all the parts, the alphabet parts that you get with Medicare. And sometimes it makes sense to do an Advantage plan. It really truly is a case by case basis. And we help take the mystery out of that to really sit down with you, figure out what's best. And it can be actually a multi-generational process. You know, you may have a parent that's approaching Medicare and just doesn't know what to do and is confused. You get 1,000 things in the mail. If you've gone onto any website, you're going to get 1,000 phone calls. So to avoid all that, to avoid all the spammers, get in touch with me, get on my calendar, or just shoot me an email and I can connect you. Make sure you get on my partner's his calendar, and figure out what's going to make the most sense for you. Be wary of any Medicare brokers, just like I tell you with the under 65, who only offer one option, one supplement, that don't offer multiple things. Because again, if you're not shopping, you're not comparing, you may not be getting the right thing. So, side note to that, what a lot of people don't realize is once you're eligible for Medicare, you are no longer eligible for the subsidy on the marketplace. This is incredibly important. I try to reach out to my clients when I know they're going to turn 65, 90 days out, to remind them, hey, get signed up and contact me, because it's very important you get enrolled, and then I know when you're enrolled so I can cancel your marketplace coverage, because you don't want to owe that money back to the IRS. That's something that people just don't realize. And I'm always trying to save people money. I never want them to pay too much money. And one way to avoid that is to make sure that you understand that you no longer qualify for the subsidy, and that's going to bite you in the butt when open enrollment time comes around and we've not done the proper steps. The other thing that people do not realize is that you are eligible for Medicare on the first day of the month that you turn 65. So if your birthday is June 25th, you're eligible to begin Medicare June 1st. A lot of people don't know that too, so you get it a little bit early, which is a plus. But again, I would end your coverage May 31st because your coverage would begin June 1st. The other thing is, if your birthday happens to fall on the first of the month, you actually get bumped backwards to the previous month. So in said example, if your birthday was June 1st, you're eligible for Medicare May 1st. How cool is that? Also with Medicare, your income comes into play. They do a 2-year look back at your income, And depending whether you file single or married, the number will be different. But depending on your income, if it's below the certain limit, you're going to pay what most people pay for Medicare, the minimum amount. And if your income is above that, then it's tiered, and you actually pay a little bit more until the full 2 years, another 2 years passes, and they look back, and then maybe your income isn't as much. So if you're still an earner when you turn 65, that it's very important to think about all those options. We're always happy to talk to people when they turn 63, because then maybe you can plan. If you kind of understand these rules and know what goes into how Medicare works, how they're going to look back at your income, that will determine whether some people retire at 62, and then it's usually not a problem unless they have a lot of retirement income. There's a lot of things that fall into play here, and everyone is different. So at least you're able to plan if you know your Medicare benefit's going to cost you more in the beginning until your 2 year look back cycles through, or if you can plan for it and put off some income. Like myself, I'm not quite there yet, but I do own my own corporation and I pay myself, so I could actually adjust my salary to make sure it stays under the limit if I don't want to pay more for Medicare. Bonus. So some people don't have that luxury, but if you're a 1099, you may certainly be able to do that, or if you have your own LLC, you may certainly be able to do that. So there's a lot of different pieces that come into the Medicare puzzle. We truly strive to make this as seamless and easy as possible and take all the worry and concern out of that. There's still a lot of supplemental stuff that you can get besides the true supplement for Medicare. There's dental, vision. Some plans come with that, some don't. So always hope you get enrolled in anything that there's a gap in your Medicare coverage. There's certain restrictions on age for certain things, but there's a lot of things we can still put in place if you want to make sure you have enough coverage. So if you are going to turn 65 soon, or if you're turning 63 and want to get a consult in, hop on over to my page, jcapconsulting.com, book a time. Please put in the notes what the appointment is concerning. And if you have a parent that you feel like you need to help, please do that too, because it can be a family thing. We certainly help younger generations help their aging parents get the right Medicare. And then Medicare open enrollment is different from regular open enrollment. Medicare open enrollment is October 1st through December 7th. So it's a little bit, there's some overlap, but there is a different timeline. And again, there's rules about when you can enroll, when you can't enroll if you're not turning 65. So until next week, peace out.